guess who's back? Yes, it's us. A very warm welcome to this, the Coaching Hour podcast, and it's brought to you in partnership with Coaches Network South Africa. My name is Paul. Lovely to welcome you to another edition of the podcast. Thank you very much for being here. We look forward to you interacting with us. Ask the questions, jump in, join in the conversation if you are watching this on our socials. Marika and Mary, join me once again as we bring you this week's guest. Marika, who joins us today?
Yes, thank you, Paul. We once again have a very familiar face, Falk Winter. So nice to have you as a regular guest on our podcast. And today we're going to talk about a very important topic. It is how to break bad habits, how to get rid of bad habits. Falk is a transformation coach and I would say productivity specialist. Welcome, Falk. It's so nice to have you again.
Thank you. Great to be here. Mareike, Paul, Mary, good to see you. Yes, we talk about habits as part of the U square, how to make the quantum leap. That's our topic for today. So yeah, glad to be here. I just came back from a trip from Europe and now it's getting nice and warm here in South Africa. I love it. Springtime, flowers coming out. So all good. That's our topic for today, based on this book, U Square. I don't know if you know Price Pritchett. One of my favorite topics, actually, something a little bit unconventional, So we want to talk about how to make the quantum leap in your life, in any area you choose. And without any long introduction, let's jump right into it. Quantum leaps come from the physics. I'm sure you heard of it. When particles jump from one place to another one, it's used in lasers and in the space technologies and so on. That means going into uncharted territory, that these particles, and we are all made of particles, as you know, we talked about it before. We're all made of particles, made of energy. And sometimes they jump without any plan, without any structure, and without any apparent effort. And even as human beings, we consist of these particles. We can do the same. We don't believe it. Most of us, we don't practice it. So the question is if it's possible for ourselves as an individual to do something very similar in our personal performance. Either it is you want to have more energy, more health, you want to have more money, grow your business, you want to have more loving relationships, you want to have more meaningful community contributions, or you want to, increase and look at your spiritual, your religious life, whatever area you choose, we can make everybody is able to do these quantum leaps. Now the question is, how does it work, of course? How does it work? You see the book here, U Square Price Pritchett. You can Google it. A lot of information on the internet about this. So normally, we are taught like success comes, one step at a time, gradual improvement, building good habits. And there's nothing wrong with this, but there is another way as well. Instead of this gradual progress you see here, and I put quite a lot of text this time on it as well that you can follow. We can just skip a couple levels, We can really skip some levels and make a big jump much faster. The tough stuff is it's totally against common sense, huh? It's totally against common sense. And I'm still working on this because we're all guided by common sense and intelligence and thinking and logic and reason, and all this stuff. But it's not common sense. So that's the one thing which I find the hardest to overcome. I don't know if you had experience in your life. I'm sure sometimes where you feel like, wow, I made a jump there. I don't even know how it happened.
Yes,
Yep,
definitely.
100%. And also, I think what was common sense 50 years ago is possibly not common sense today. So the way that our grandparents did things that seemed logical to them, as technology improves, as we evolve as a species, those things get thrown out the window. So I think sometimes we need to let the old go and embrace the new. And for me, that's what you're touching on here, Falk.
Absolutely, Paul, and I totally agree. Would you have imagined what we can do today, to outsource your VA work or your assistant work to a chatbot, to Robert, or to ask any question? I mean, to get information today is not more any challenge, huh? Just ask the question. We have all the information at our fingertips. It doesn't even cost much anymore. I think that's kind of a quantum leap in technology. And
Yeah.
I want to give you some steps here what we can do. What can be actions that contradict common sense and what we have to do or what we should do if we want to go this direction. So one thing is really we have to question or look at our past behavior, past habits past actions, which can cripple our success. We have to look about what we're doing every day in our business, for instance, to question it and say, what's the opposite here, what I should do? What's something totally unreasonable I would never consider? Why not going this direction? So we must, as I've written here, search out vigorously, employ new behaviors. Our actions, our results come through our actions, and our actions are determined by our behavior. And where does it start? And that's really one of the things, is to really question what we do and look out for new ways. That's the first step. That's the easy one. And another big no is trying harder, huh?
I like that. Yeah.
That's what we do. Let's just work harder.
Yeah, this hustle culture and working harder, and I always say it's a two-sided, how you call it, sword. Trying harder, I say yes, but on your inner work, what nobody wants to do. When it comes about changing yourself, changing how you think, changing your habits, how you think and how you behave. Not on the outside, not doing 1 hour overtime, 2 hours overtime, cutting sleep by 2 hours and working 2 more hours, doing a new presentation or whatever you do. No, that's not the way. So when I say try harder, I always say refer to do some more inner work, spend some more time on your meditation, on your prayer, on your visualization, on your affirmations, on your all this stuff we discussed earlier, and some of it we'll touch today. But it's really not on the outside, these forcing things and doing things, because there's a limit, huh? That's why burnout and stress and depression comes in. People trying harder, they're running out of energy. Yeah. So more of the same is really not gonna work. And as I said, I refer to outside work with trying harder, putting in more hours, doing more calls, just being more active, being busier without even knowing where we are going. Yeah. So, and it does not mean, okay, let me be lazy. No, I've written here, it's not against self-discipline. Let me be lazy and things will just come to me. No. It doesn't work either, huh?
There's a fine line.
That's a very fine line, huh, between persistence, having discipline, doing the action even on the outside, but on the other hand, just spending some more time, especially thinking time, on other areas we normally neglect. And as you know yourself, I think it's much harder to do 20 minutes meditation, shutting off your mind as good as we can, your monkey mind, as I always say, than working an hour overtime. That's still easier. Or even going 20 minutes to the gym is still easier than just quietening our minds, our thoughts for 20 minutes. It's much harder and so much more important than anything on the outside, for instance,
Falk, is it true to say that the more you do it, the less harder it is?
Absolutely, Mary. That comes where the habit is, huh? Remember, at the beginning of a new habit, let's say you choose a new action, whatever you choose, huh? At the beginning, it's hard, it's unfamiliar, it's not just hard physically. Let's say when you start doing exercise or going jogging, it's also hard on the inside. But the more often you do it, obviously, it's like a muscle you train. It's an internal muscle. So just keep doing it. Don't think about it. Don't analyze it. Don't plan it. Don't book it. No, just do it. And then, of course, remember we talked about habits, start very slowly, huh? 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. So there's no excuse, I don't have time. We have time. We spend so much time on social media, on Netflix and all the other stuff. So we definitely have time for, let's say, doing 30 minutes, some of this stuff we're discussing today, And it's becoming definitely much easier the more often you train this muscle, this internal muscle, doing new things, unfamiliar things, illogical things, the easier it gets. You see it here. The faith in the familiar, huh? We all like to stay in our comfort zone, familiarity zone. And that's why there's not much improvement, not much change in our life, not much happening really. And then we blame everybody and everything on the outside, which is not true. It's all on the inside. You see here, I like this. If you're trying to climb over a wall, open a door and walk through. But I have to be aware that there is a door somewhere.
Yeah.
Be able to walk through.
Yes.
No? And I cannot be aware if my monkey is talking, my monkey mind ahead, if I'm busy. I'm not even aware there is a door, so I can never walk through. I just try to keep busy and trying harder, and it's not gonna work. So now what we talked about it, huh? Common sense. So I think we mentioned it before, how little of our potential we use. I wrote here, we use only 10% of our potential. I think Einstein said he used only 5%. He used only 5% of his potential. Can you imagine? I think we're using a little less than this, and we can do so much more. So if we have to give up on some old beliefs, on some doubts in our own potential, in our own possibilities, and even the scriptures, doesn't matter what religion you are, and if you're non-religious, even the scientists, they all agree on one thing: we have unlimited inner potential. Everybody has. We're not aware of it. It's buried behind all this negative stuff, limiting belief, our past programming, and so on. But we can definitely get rid of it. Or let's say chipping away, like you said, Mary, chipping away like more and more every day, letting the new come through. And yeah, that's really what it is. So focusing on possibilities, always, always. Focus on the things we can control, always. We have some exercises, I'll give you later on what we can do. And hold off, for a while. Even don't believe anything for a while. It's still better than believing all this negative stuff we do. And you turn on the radio, you listen to the neighborhood, you listen to all of your friends and colleagues. What do you hear? You hardly hear about inspiration and new ideas and possibilities and chances. You hear about dangers and obstacles and bad things happening in this world, and it shapes our thinking and our behavior and our results. No?
True.
So it's we know this, but now of course the question is, how do we want to change this and implement and starting a new way and just forgetting this bloody common sense? So
Yes.
yeah. Another thing, and I think we mentioned it earlier as well, you have to know where you want to go. Sometimes it's difficult, but we can figure this out, where you want to go, in what area. Remember goal setting, this kind of stuff, habits, goal setting, where you want to go. We do not have to focus on the how, but we have to be very clear, where do you want to land in life, where you want to land in your finances, in your relationship, where you want to be. And not as mere, like dreams and hopes and wishes and desires. No, no, no. Crystal clear. Having a picture, remember we talk about the visualization, having your movie, your motion picture ready. Where do you want to end? Because the means how to get there is written here. You will magnetize yourself. They will appear once you start walking. It's like climbing a hill. You have to see the top. Or if you don't see the top, see maybe the hill before the top. But focus on the top. Don't focus on the way to get there. You have to even be flexible how to get there. Very often, we shouldn't forget this. But and don't overanalyze and overplan. Just keep walking or start walking. That's the thing. That's it. And very
Yeah,
often
I think
we're so focused on the how. I don't know. Share maybe some insight from your side. When we focus on the how too long, what happens then?
we all fall in that trap. You know what? Okay, first thing you need to know what you want, and then you think that the way to get there is going to be through A, B, or C. If you have your business, for example, you think I'm going to get there by getting more clients or focusing on this type of client, that type of thing. So even though you think you're not focusing on the how, you are still doing it because you are limiting the options, perhaps on focusing on, I'm going to get my success if I have so many clients a month, for example. But there could be many other ways and means that you might get there that you don't even know of. And it's to let go of or be open to see that.
Yes.
I love the magnetize yourself part.
Yeah.
And the formula does not involve getting everything neatly organized. I love those two because that is really, really the truth. I've experienced it.
Absolutely, Mareike and Mary. What you said, Mareike, is a big trap. And again, there's a fine line, huh? We have to be practical. So that's fine to have a business plan and to have a budget and to have some goals and to have to know how many people, you have to call every day or ask for referral every day or contact every day. I think we still have to do these things, but not 100% of our time. We should leave 50% or at least 30%, to be open, to go crazy, to daydream, to just go into areas you would never go, to give these chances for opportunities. And even more important than the business plan is First of all, as you said, I want to know where do I want to end and be so passionate about this ending. Like, let's say how much money you want to earn or how many clients you want to have. I have to really feel the end. Very often we don't feel the end because we don't believe we're going to get there because there's not enough money for marketing. There's not enough people out there who want to spend the money. The economic situation is very difficult, blah, 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 blah. So we already don't even believe it. But once we invest the other 50% or 30% into magnetizing ourselves, that meaning we're coming to this a little bit later, getting so passionate about our where we want to go because we just love it, just for the thing itself, you know, so much. And then of course the means will appear and new ideas will come up. You strengthen your intuition. We talked about it, the inner faculties, you know, all this stuff which sets us apart from the animal kingdom. We don't use much our intuition, imagination, perception, but the more we use these things, the faster and magnetize ourselves, the faster we will get where we want to go, you know.
Mhm.
And it's a very German thing to analyze and put the steps in and plan A, B, C, and we're getting even lost in the whole process, you know. And that's not the way to go when it comes to quantum leaps. No.
Interesting.
You see here, I love the picture too. These
Oh, I like that.
forces. You know, quantum leaps, look at this one in the middle, are merely the process of using yourself and your world differently. You know, wherever you are, whatever we do, just using it in different ways. It doesn't mean going for something, you know, which is not there. No, we're using what's there, but in a different way. I just mentioned it like intuition. Intuition, remember, we mentioned it before. When we talk to the Lord or pray, many people do. That's fine. No, we call this praying, talking to the Lord or to Spirit. When it talks back to us, I call it it, that's called intuition. But we're not listening to it. The receiver's off the hook because our monkey is keeping us busy. We never listen to it. This little voice, this intuition always talks to us and always gives us the right way and idea on who to call, what to do, what not to do, and so on. Once we would listen more, but for this we have to be quiet. We have to work on ourselves internally, just internally. And the more time we spend there, the more we can listen to this little voice. And then we never go wrong. You know, we never go wrong. And you see here,
Very
like
true.
what you mentioned, like Marika, also paint a vivid picture in your mind for these forces, you know, which want to help us. Remember, there's always an action and there is a reaction to whatever we do. Where does the reaction comes from? Any idea? We do the action. Where does the reaction come from?
Now we are quiet.
It's
No, you know.
external forces.
Exactly,
are-
these unseen forces from spirit, from the universe, from the omnipresent intelligence out there. We cannot grasp it, we cannot see it, but we can definitely tap into it and use it. Remember these lucky encounters, you know? It's just an idea pops into your head. You wake up in the morning and know exactly, I have to do this. Somebody calls you and thought, wow, this is the person I haven't spoken for so long. He or she's going to help me in this, what I want to do. You come across a thing on the web, which exactly answers your question. These are these unseen forces. Remember, there is no luck. There is no chance encounter. There is no accident. Everything happens according to law in this universe. Everything. If we know the law, if we respect the law, if we accept the law, it doesn't matter. It's still the law. So there's no accidents, and we can induce it or use it or, you know, take advantage of it or utilize it by preparing ourselves better, you know, being more open, spending more time internally to be quiet and tap into these forces. No? By mental imagery, by your intuition, by being clear where we want to go and so on. No? Because we cannot do it ourselves. I always say, and it's just the truth, these unseen forces, the reaction from the universe gives us 51%. We have to do 49%. That's all. No?
Okay.
So this is a very good one too. I love it. You know, life is risky. Life is very risky because we don't get out of it alive, no? So life is very risky, isn't it? We don't get out of it alive.
True.
And it goes so quickly, you know, so why not go for everything?
Exactly.
You always risk. And another quote is out there, all of life is suffering. I think the Buddha said it, all of life is suffering. And I don't say it in a morbid way or pessimistic way. No, that's not the way I am. But it's all suffering. But choose your suffering, huh? Choose your risk,
Yes.
choose your what you do. You know, it's like when it comes to health again, you suffer going to the gym, drinking your green juice and your water and saying no to all these cakes and biscuits and or chocolate and stuff you want to eat. That's a big suffering. I know this. And the other big suffering is, oh, you're gonna get, I don't know, you're gonna get fat, obese, you cannot walk and your knees giving in and you get a heart attack and blah, blah, blah. So you suffer both ways. Now choose your suffering.
Yeah,
Very
I think
simple.
he used I can't remember his name. He used also the example of, when you're single, you're suffering, but if you're married, you're also suffering. So you're suffering. You're
Yes,
suffering
yes.
either way.
Either way, to choose your suffering and look at it in the most positive or most helpful way for yourself. It's the way how you look at things. You always suffer, you're so right, you know? But I always encourage people, it's not so much taking a risk, it's just go for it, don't settle. 95% of all people just settle for, okay, I'm fine,
Mm,
it's all good. And I will not judge, I will never judge. But there is more to it if you want to, if you really want to, move beyond the
mm,
familiarity and go through the suffering. Like you said before, like Mary, like with the habit building stuff, there is suffering until you get this habit plateau, until you get there. It's like they always compare to the rocket. At the beginning, the rocket needs most of the fuel, about 90%, until it leaves the Earth atmosphere. It's the same for us building a new habit, an uncomfortable habit or stuff, like to whatever, doing some internal work and whatever you do. At the beginning, it's so hard, but once you're over this, then you start in the floating zone and it's getting easier and easier. But you have to overcome
mm,
this initial habit gravity, it's called, and the same is here, you know? So,
mm.
yeah.
I like that. Yeah, it's like life is short anyway, so why not risk everything and just go for it? We keep ourselves back. Well, wait for the right moment, or I'll wait for I don't know what. It's very true.
And we wait for approval and we wait for, oh my God, what are other people gonna say? Who cares?
Okay, so
I would
what?
say, who
The
cares?
it's
But
the
there's certain people you
yeah,
influence.
it's the
Yes, Mary?
experience that gives you the wisdom. Experience gives you the wisdom. So when you leap and you take the risk, you're experiencing, and then you can uh, get the wisdom out of it.
Mm.
Absolutely. The more you experience, and especially when you experience positive results, huh? You go for something, you do something different, and you see, oh wow, something good happened, and you go for more, and more things happen. It's like, remember, we also mentioned this before, like this upward spiral, the better it gets, the better it gets. And the worse it gets, the worse it gets. That's why the rich people
Mm,
become richer and the poor people become poorer. It's the law. Very simple. It
mm,
reinforces itself if you don't break out of it. So that's
Yeah,
that's a, that's a very regular thing, and it's in our power to do something about it if we want to. Yeah, and experience wisdom is, yeah. Normally, the older we
mm.
get, the more wiser we should become. No, I'm not so
We
sure about
should.
myself, but we should know.
Oh,
You see here, what we mentioned before also, it's action, huh? Without action still, it's not 100% action, but it's not wishing and wanting and hoping and not even praying. Nope. It's definitely action which counts. Gratitude and action, I always say, we have to seek, to knock, and the doors will open. But the important is not just action, it's more pursuing. Like you have a passion for it, you have a fire for it, and then you act upon the things. And that's where all the plan comes in and stuff. So we have to do these things. And especially also, as I said, on yourself, on your inner work, on your inner system, on your thinking and your beliefs and your emotions, on your energies. This is why I always push people. We have to work the most or spend more time. And then, of course, the outer action we do anyway. We don't have a problem with the outer action. We do normally. So the power of pursuit, not of
mm,
action so much, more pursuit, really pursuing things. That's very important.
mm,
Seeking things. And
yeah.
it's not many people, it's just hope and dreams and desires. Not going to get anywhere. This is not going to work. It's not going to work. We have to put the action out.
mm. True.
Another tough one here, huh? I didn't like this when I saw this first, but it's very true too, huh? Seek failure.
Mm,
Fail fast. You heard it before, I'm sure, no? It's a learning experience. Go for it. The more you fail, something happens. You make 10 calls. I have this little silly game, but I don't like making these calls, but of course we have to do it. It's like I put something in here. Let's say you have a little box or so, and then I don't know if you see it, and then you can put, okay, 20 calls today. I just make 1 and 2 and 3. My goal is only to move these 20 marbles or things into the glass, and once it's done, it's done. Good. And the fun thing is 5 people don't pick up, and then suddenly somebody picks up. Okay, and then I want them to end, but sometimes the last one also picks up, and I have another rule and say, oh, now I have to keep going until somebody doesn't pick up. I say, oh, hopefully the next one doesn't. I want to stop now. And then, that's the way. Just gamify, just play with it, and don't think this failure stuff. I think here in South Africa we're pretty good, very resilient people. Just go for it and go for the next one. So that's it. Get uncomfortable. Yes, we mentioned about out of the comfort zone. And you see here, I love this. Look at the wave. Look at the surfing here. Doing the quantum leap is really surfing the wave, which means it's kind of scary. It's kind of you're doing action. You have to keep the balance, but you're not forcing things. The wave, and you can look at the wave like these unseen forces. It's carrying you. You write the situation because you're very clear where you want to go. Very important. You don't know how exactly, but you know where you want to go, and you ride the wave. I like this algorithm here, or this allegory. Yeah, and it's a little frightening sometimes, no? Or a little anxious we become, and it's fine. It still goes on, no? It doesn't kill us. So get uncomfortable. Open your gifts, yes. The wings, and some people say, oh, geniuses are born, or the successful people are born, or no. We all have, everybody is unique. There's no second Paul, Mary, Marika on this planet. Nobody else ever is going to be like you, was like you, or will be like you. Everybody has very unique gifts and talents. So what are yours? We have to find out. And then building on your strength. Remember, we don't work so much on our weaknesses, except if they're very, very bad. But otherwise, we always capitalizing on our strength, on our wings, on our gifts, and using them. Yeah. That's what I mentioned before. Be passionate. If you're not passionate, we don't get the energy. And but I cannot be passionate. Like for me, if the weather is bad, or when it's cold, or when it's raining, oh my God, we had enough of this year, I think. But it shouldn't influence us, Of course, the sunshine and the flowers, it makes life much easier. But you can always generate this passion, this energy. Just remember when, I don't know, your child was born, you hold it in your arms for the first time. What moment was it when we fell in love for the first time? So we can always recall these events. That's where memory comes in a good sense, and recreate this emotion, this passion. It's not like we need the outer event. We can do it internally. That's the gift. If I tell you, I give you $1 million now, I just wanted to be smiling for the next 24 hours and be nice and enjoy life. Could you do it? And of course you would say, yeah, I can do it. So why do you need $1 million? Why not do it every day anyway? Once you know that once you're smiling and being passionate and being excited about what you do, you get better results. So why are we not doing it? Why do we need $1 million before we do it?
True.
No? So it sounds funny, but it's true, no? At the end of the day. Then move before you're ready. Yes. We mentioned it before. Just start walking. You're clear where you want to go, when you want to start, and it can only happen now. Huh? That's why we have to get started. We have to get started. It's very important. And look inside for opportunity. I go this a little bit faster here because I want to give you some more practical exercises here.
Yeah.
What's pulling you, huh?
Yes,
Guys, what's pulling
you?
What's pulling you? Huh?
Sometimes we keep ourselves back because you think you should be doing one thing because you were passionate about it maybe 10 years ago, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
But then something else starts pulling you, that you have to be open, I guess, not to be stuck in one mindset.
Yeah. I mean, we cannot change every day, huh? What's pulling us? But once we are clear once we are quieter, and I think it changes definitely every 10 years, huh? Something like what's pulling us really, what makes our heart sing. What would we do without being paid for? You know, these are always questions we can ask ourselves. It is, yes, I'm gonna go for it. And it doesn't matter what it is. If it's playing the guitar, painting the picture, or whatever, doing AI courses, it doesn't matter. But we do it because we love doing it. Like for me, it is definitely, I wouldn't say coaching, but helping people transforming their lives to a different level because it's in them. But we cannot do it alone. And we
Which
really
reminds me of that quote.
yeah.
Sorry, Falk. There's that quote that says, "Find a job that you enjoy, and you'll never have to work again." And I think there's so
Yeah.
much truth in that. If I look at what I was really lucky to have done for most of my working career, yes, there were days where I wasn't up to it or I wasn't feeling great. So you don't have perfect days all the time. But to live in a way where there's actually passion behind what you're doing, I think makes such a difference. And if you've never experienced what it's like to have that passion, sadly, I think many people can go through their entire lives not knowing.
100% agree, Paul. You know, they're becoming a lawyer because it pays a lot of money, or they're becoming a whatever, working in finance
Doctor.
because it looks good, you know, or their parents pushed them into. My parents pushed me into starting out a military career. My dad, you know, it was not a bad choice after all, but it was not my thing, you know. So we're living about expectation above others, you know. But as you said, once you find your passion, it gives you so much. And it's not every day is the same, huh? That's absolutely correct. But once you find the main thing, we can move forward. Guys, I want to give you still one, two, I think three exercises how to do this quantum leap, what we should do it. You see here above the picture, I like this picture too. I'll see it when I believe it. So it starts, I'll see it when I believe it. Not, remember we're saying, oh, when I see it, then I believe it. No, you have to see it first and then you will sorry, I'll see it when I believe it. So it means we have to believe first, and then the thing will manifest on the outside, not the other way around. You know, and that's really important. So get uncomfortable, quit trying harder, finding out what's pulling you, and really turn. I'll believe when I see it. No? You show me the money, what's in it for me, then I believe it. No, that's what everybody does. No, I'll see it. That means I experience it. I see it in front of me. I can touch it when I believe it. My goals, my passion, my dreams, my love. So first comes the believing, then I'll see it. That means I experience it. I have it in reality. That's the way.
So the I see is the visualization in your mind's eye. You see it in your mind's eye, then you believe it.
No, here it's meant, Mary, it's I'll believe it first. So the belief comes first, you see? I'll see it when I believe it. So we have to put first our power in our belief, and then I will see it here. I'll see it means on the outside. It manifests. It's there. I got the money. I got the relationship, okay? That's the way it's meant here. But it's not the way we work. We work
Okay.
like, I will believe you. Once you show me you made your $1 million, that's why your business concept, your investment, your crypto working so well. But show me, then I will believe it.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, you have to first start with the end. That's what we mentioned before. That's very, very important. So work on our beliefs first, and then it will come on the outside. That's sound very common sense, but unfortunately, internally, if we are honest to ourselves, we obviously nah. We may pretend I can, but the monkey tells us, no, I can't. Whatever. I'm too old, too young, wrong neighborhood, wrong education, no connections. I failed 5 times. I don't want to try it anymore. You know, turn it around. As long as we are alive, we can always go for a new chance. Every day, every waking up in the morning, opening our eyes is a new chance, you know, every day. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here anymore anyway, you know. And as we said before, focus on the answer and on the unseen forces. Do not be always right, whatever you tell yourself. And very often we are not aware how we talk to ourselves. And it's bad. If you're honest, it's bad how we talk to ourselves most of the time. I shouldn't say bad, it's unhelpful when it comes to reaching better results. It's unhelpful. That's a better word. You know, so be aware how we talk to ourselves. Okay. So it's always a question, how can I? And what's good about it? What's the solution? What can we do here? You know, what's a different way of looking
What,
at it? What can I learn from this?
what else is possible?
Beautiful question. What else is possible? What haven't I considered yet? Absolutely. And not focusing on the things what everybody does on the outside. Why is it not working? And what is not working? And blah, 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 blah. Forget it. What can I do? What's possibly here? What's the best I can do? And so on. And number three is, there's also a big one. I'm not ready. Once I have the money, once I have the time, once I finish my study, once I finish this course, when I get this bank loan, when I get da 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 da, then no. Do the best with where we are, with what we have, and and where we and what timing we are in and what position we are in. You know.
Very important.
You see, it's all summarized here, basically. You know, the way will be revealed. That's what we mentioned, intuition, you know, spirit talking to us all the time. Tells us all is well, or I'm getting better and better every day. I'm having more and more energy every day. I love more and more, you know, helping people. I enjoy my life more and more, you know, every day. These more and more and these every day. You don't find it at many places, but it's very important when it comes to affirmations. You know, people say, "Oh, money is coming to me, money is coming to me, money is coming to me, money." They don't believe it. You're just saying like the Robert. It's never gonna work. So you have to say the affirmation with passion and adding these more and more. That lets it go through the barrier from the conscious to the subconscious mind. So that's the only way to reprogram ourselves. Because then the monkey cannot come up and say, "Ah, you're not. Money's not coming." You know. But if you say more and more, it accepts it. And remember, that's the way we reprogram ourselves. So we have to change these affirmations. Make the move before you're ready. Okay, we're already at the end now here. That's what when people want to go a little bit deeper into these things, I offer this session here, the 30 minutes, the quantum leap breakthrough session for people who want to talk about it. And you will get crystal clear about what does it mean for you making the quantum leap, what keeps you from getting there, and what could be next action steps for yourself to get there. That's my offering at the end. And yeah, now we are open to discussion or anything else you would like to know. That's where we are.
Awesome. Thank you, Falk. I learned a few things. I made some prep notes.
I was going to ask, Falk, the presentation that you have shared now, there's so many little nuggets in there and so many insights. Are you able to share that at all, or is this something that you prefer to keep to yourself?
I mean, it's recorded here, so if people watch the recording, they have it all.
Perfect.
You see, that's the best way. So they can use it, of course. I would also recommend to you, Google it, the U square thing from Pritchett. So you got the same stuff again. Yeah.
Wonderful. So if you have been listening to this, not watching it, and some of the information was a little blurry or we went through things a bit quickly, hop on to Facebook, check out our various channels. Falk, I'm sure you'll share it on yours. I know that we'll obviously have it up on ours, on the Coaching Hour and on Coaches Network South Africa. Correct, Marika?
Yes, and our YouTube channel, The Coaching Hour. So you would
Yep.
find the video there.
So you can hop on, because if you have been listening and not watching, there's quite a bit of information that Falk had in his presentation. And unlike the normal death by PowerPoint, this was far from. This was really a life-filled presentation. So thank you very much, Falk. I always love how you make things practical. And I don't know if it is the German in you, but there's just something about how, and we've had literally over the years, we've had dozens, if not hundreds of coaches who we've chatted with, but I think you are really talented at turning things into practical ways of achieving results and giving us tips and guidelines. And because the theory is wonderful and talking about all the airy fairy stuff is great, but very often my question is, how do you turn that into practical ways of achieving? And you do a wonderful job of that. So thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. And as I said, please contact me with any questions, anything. And coming back to your question, Paul, I always say I'm very brutal, you know, when it comes to the German thing. I said, guys, you don't need a coach these days. Really, you don't need a coach. If people say, "Oh, I want to increase my sales," ask your chat GPT. "I'm depressed. How can I get out of it?" Ask your chat bot. You have all the answers there. The problem is we're not doing it. We know what to do. We are not doing it. So, guys, to improve your life, to live in, I always urge people, say, guys, find the right methodology. It's a methodology, really. LMI is one, PGI is another one. There are not many out there. And the methodology is the coach. There is a reprogramming that happens 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So find something which is right methodology and then get somebody who guides you through. You cannot do it alone. We think we can do it alone and save some money and go to online course. It's not going to work. As you said, Paul, it's just information. You have to get in somebody who sees you at a higher level, who guides you through. That's what I love doing. But these two things, everybody needs to find anybody you connect with, and then you can really change your life. That's the whole thing. Thank you.
And last question, Falk,
100%.
where are you based? Where in South Africa are you?
I'm here in beautiful Cape Town. I fell in love 30 years ago. It took me a long time to come back. I wouldn't move anywhere else, It's beautiful here in Cape Town. Yes.
Wonderful. I'm just thinking if there are people who would like one-on-ones with you, not over
Definitely.
a computer screen, that's something that you offer as well if you're in the Cape, hey?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. And to you watching and listening to this has been another edition of the Coaching Hour, brought to you in partnership with Coaches Network South Africa. Mary Mareka, thank you. My name's Paul Rotherham, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next edition. Thank you. Bye for now.